I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. and I'll call on Councillor D'Angelo to read the land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattawandrung, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the First Credit Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live.
Thank you, Councillor D'Angelo. Are there any declarations of interest? Seeing none, can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Hanley and Councillor D'Angelo. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Adoption of the minutes. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the open and closed minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, and open and closed minutes of the special council meeting held on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025? I've got Councillor O'Hare and Councillor Didavides. Although any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Mayor's report. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Mike Didavides, for representing City Council at the following events while I was away on vacation. On September 13th, Hope in Motion at Canada Games Park, a unique event by the Hotel du Schaefer Hospital Foundation, celebrating past and present patients on their rehabilitation journeys. This fundraising event promotes mobility inclusion, allowing participants to walk or wheel the outdoor track at their own pace and set their own goals. On September 16th, joined by CAO Manoj Dalwaria at the Greater Chamber of Commerce Spotlight event with the Honourable Andre Kanjan, Ontario Minister of Red Tape Reduction. The conversation was focused on reducing red tape for our prosperity, as well as highlighting the importance of strong partnerships in driving progress across Ontario. On September 18th, the 2025 Toolbox campaign kickoff. In 2025, the Toolbox project, founded in 2017 by James Simons, has officially merged with long-standing partners Start Me Up Niagara. They have a new logo, but the mission remains the same: to deliver essential holiday care packages to unsheltered individuals across Niagara. Deputy Mayor Mike Didavides attended the new logo unveiling and 2025 campaign kickoff and was joined by St. Catharines Mayor Matt Cisco, James Simons, and others. On September 21st, the Thorold Garden Club held their Rose and Flower Show Awards, as well as local garden contest winners. The presentations were held at the Belvedere Club. Deputy Mayor Didavides was joined by Councillor D'Angelo to celebrate the winners. Congratulations to Linda Burrick for winning the Mayor's Choice Award, which I selected in June, for her mixed perennial display. Congratulations to all the award and contest winners, as well as everyone who entered the competition. On September 14th, the Thorold Terry Fox Run held another successful year, beginning and ending at the Thorold Community Credit Union. Thank you, Cindy Dixon, and your team of volunteers for running this important community event, as well as Thorold Fire and Emergency Services, Thorold Pipe Band, Niagara Regional Police Services, and councillors who participated or volunteered: Councillors Sentence, Decker, DeRose, D'Angelo, O'Hare, Longo, and Didavides. On September 25th, we raised the Big Brothers Big Sisters Niagara flag at City Hall. September is Big Brothers Big Sisters Month, and we recognize the power and potential of young people and show our support for youth mentorship. Together, we are ensuring children and youth realize and reach their full potential. I was joined by city staff, Councillor O'Hare, and Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters Niagara, Aaron Graybill. On September 26th, I attended and spoke at a luncheon hosted by the BMI Group at the Thorold Multimodal Hub site in Thorold. Business EQ and Salmon Investoren from the Netherlands, Port Colborne Mayor Bill Steele, Regional Councillor Vance Badaway, who is also the President and CEO of the Council of Great Lakes Region, Eric Chow, Economic Development Niagara Region, the Veldman Brothers, and other BMI Group representatives, as well as HOPA Port representatives, were all in attendance. On September 26th, I brought greetings on behalf of City Council to the Zonta International District 4 Council held at the 4 Points by Sheraton in Thorold. Zonta's international mission is building a better world for women and girls. Thank you to Jane Newman, Governor, District 4, Zonta International, for the invitation. The ballroom was jam-packed for their kickoff of their weekend conference. On September 26th, as I was at these previously mentioned events, Deputy Mayor Mike Ditavitas attended an important announcement at Brock University. The university celebrated Norris Walker, a dedicated champion of the university and the Niagara region who passed away in January 2024. The launch of the Brock University Norris W. Walker Research Farm, located in the city of Thorold, thanks to a $7 million legacy gift from the Norris W. Walker family, which will support it. Located on Merrittville Highway, the farm will be used by students, researchers, and industry to evaluate the challenges faced by the agricultural sector, creating solutions to respond to the impacts of climate change and disease, and develop innovations for farming that supports the future of food security. On September 27th, Thorold Fire and Emergency Services hosted a community open house at Fire Station 1 as part of Fire Prevention Week. This year's theme, Charge into Fire Safety. This campaign aims to educate everyone about safe use, charging, and disposal of batteries and the importance of having working smoke alarms in your home. The event turnout was outstanding and the feedback was very positive. Thank you to Thorold Fire and Emergency Services team, Chief Terry Dixon, Deputy Chief Mike DeGasperis, and all those who volunteered for making this community event possible. Councillors who attended were Councillor DeRose, Hanley, DeAngela, Ditavitas, Sentence, Decker, and Longo. On September 27th, Friends of Beaver Dams Church hosted their annual Apple Fest and Pop-Up Market event at this historic Beaver Dams Church. I was joined by Councillors DeAngela, O'Hare, and Sentence at this event. On September 29th, we raised the Every Child Matters flag at City Hall as a symbol of our ongoing commitment to truth, remembrance, and meaningful reconciliation. Each year, we observe the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation as a time to reflect on the tragic legacy of residential schools and to honor the children who never made it home, as well as the survivors, their families, and communities. City Hall was also illuminated orange on September 30th. Thank you to city staff, Councillors O'Hare, DeAngela, Sentence, Decker, and Regional Councillor Whalen, who were all in attendance for the flag-raising ceremony. The Niagara Region Métis Council hosted their annual harvest dinner on Sunday, October 5th at Balls Falls Conservation Area. It is a time for Métis families and community leaders to gather for an evening of food, culture, and community to celebrate Métis culture and the harvest season. Thank you to Councillor O'Hare for representing City Council at this event. On October 5th, I attended and spoke at the ceremonial tree planting event held at the DQ House Heritage Park in Thorold. This event, hosted by Trees for Life and the Ontario Association of Cemetery and Funeral Professionals, also included Khyber Columbarium, CFC Supply, the Friends of Laura Secord, Ontario Power Generation, Walker Industry, and many others. The Trees for Heroes announcement is an annual collaboration between Trees for Life and OACEP, where their conference looks to give back to the host community by beautifying green spaces for future generations. 262 native trees and shrubs were planted. Thank you to city staff, Associate Director, Community Services, Mark Richardson, Councillors O'Hare and Sentence joined me at this event. On October 14th, the Thorold Center 50 Plus will be hosting an Aging Well Longer with Technology for Older Adults and Caregivers event. Registration begins at 8:30 a.m. and the event runs from 9 a.m. to 12:30 with a free light lunch to follow. The event is sponsored by the Thorold Senior 50 Plus Center, the Thorold Age Friendly Committee, the City of Thorold, and Niagara College. You can sign up in advance at the Thorold Senior 50 Plus Center. This weekend is the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Enjoy a Canadian Thanksgiving filled with warmth and togetherness. In closing, our heartfelt condolences, thoughts, and prayers go out to the family, friends, and colleagues of Regional Chair Jim Bradley, who sadly passed away on September 26th at the age of 80. Chair Bradley was the experienced, calm, and steady hand who led Niagara when Niagara Region needed him most. A true testament to his impact was that he was well respected across all party lines. A 55-year political career dedicated to public service, his vision and leadership inspired all who worked alongside him. His contributions will not be forgotten. He will be missed. Joining me at the visitation and funeral were Regional Councillor Whalen and our Director of Public Works and Community Services, Jeff Holman. And that's the end of my mayor's remarks. And now we'll move on to civic recognition and Heritage Award, and I'll call on from our Heritage Thorold group, Ann O'Hare, to give a brief intro and tell us about this recognition.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and thanks to all of you, Mr. Mayor, councillors, and city staff for allowing us the time to present our Heritage Recognition Award to Andre Wagner and Vicky Gale during this council meeting. The last time we did this was in the spring, 5 years after the award was actually granted. You may remember me mentioning at the time that a second overdue award would be given out as soon as we had tracked down the recipients who are not living in Thorold yet. We have found them by approaching their tenants and are very happy to finally express our heartfelt appreciation for their contribution to preserving Thorold's built heritage. To summarize very quickly, the Grenville House at 7 Queen Street South was built in 1856 with elements of both the classic and Gothic revival styles. The original owner was Thomas Spinks, but it is named for the Grenville family, in whose possession it remained for over a century. The first Grenville to settle in Thorold came from England, fought in the War of 1812, and was closely connected to United Empire Loyalist families, as well as to the Butlers Rangers through his wife. Their descendants, local businessmen John and Thomas Grenville, took ownership of 7 Queen Street South in 1871. John Grenville was a member of council when the village of Thorold was incorporated into a town in 1875, and became the first reeve. He was also elected mayor in 1879 to 80 and served as postmaster for 12 years. His son Walter served on council for 4 years, as reeve for 3, and as Thorold's tax collector and assessor for 2. I'm not sure whether Walter's tax collecting job had an impact on his popularity with his fellow residents, but it is obvious that the Grenvilles had influence in Thorold. The house at 7 Queen Street remained in the family until 1981. Since then, it changed hands several times, and when it last came onto the market, its condition was very tired. Unfortunately, it is quite common that maintenance is put on the back burner in the case of old buildings. They've lasted for 150 years, so why spend money on them now? But while the fact that they have lasted that long is an indication of their superior longevity and substance, every building, new or old, needs regular maintenance to be functional and livable. The Grenville House is designated under the Heritage Act and may therefore not have been a prime candidate for immediate demolition, but it was in danger of being used for cheap profit until there wasn't a drop of life left in it. I know I say this every chance I get, but I cannot stress it enough. Apart from the importance of preserving these monuments to our history, ensuring that our existing building stock lasts for as long as possible is one of the most significant factors in combating the triple crises of climate change, waste production, and shrinking resources, things that affect everybody, not just owners of heritage buildings. Fortunately, the Granville House's present owners, Andre Wagner and Vicky Gale, saw the property's potential to once again become a beautiful family home, and they embraced its history. Andre and Vicky bought the house in 2019 with the intention to move to Thorold once they retire. Until then, the house is rented out. But before they handed the keys to their tenants, they undertook extensive exterior and interior restoration work, which turned a historic building threatened to become derelict into a Queen Street gem. For that, the heritage community is immensely grateful, as I am sure are the neighbors on Queen Street. Curb appeal does not only apply to the house in question, but to those around it as well. And now I'd like to ask our mayor to take over.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to have a couple of comments, then I'll call you up and we'll do the presentation in front here. I just want to say to Andre Wagner and Vicky Gale, I remember being there at the end of October in 2019 to cut the ribbon on the homes where you were celebrating the home's transformation. And I was really impressed at the time on the work that you did and the shape that that it was in when I went in, especially when I went inside. One thing that stood out to me about those older homes was the two staircases. There's two staircases going up, and I often said, why do we not have them in our homes today? There was a staircase going up from near the front of the house and one from the kitchen area in the back. And I know there's reasons for that. I think that's for the kitchen crew or the people that worked in the house as well as the owners. And I just thought that was a unique part. And the other unique thing was Andre dressed as the first mayor of Thorold. And I remember that, and that was an interesting day, and we thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's great to have you in council, and we look forward to the day when you move into our community full-time. And you do as well. So I'm going to welcome you up now. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And you get in the middle, I'll go on.
So this is the ceremonial part of this. Everybody's reference. And Andre and Vicky, this is our Heritage Recognition Award for saving and restoring the historic Granville House, circa 1856. Thank you so much.
I very much look forward to joining this community, and I'm glad to have been able to restore, as Anna pointed out, a building that really was in danger of becoming something less than what it has become. So thank you for welcoming me to the community, and it was a heck of a lot of fun doing all that work.
And there's something that I remember that you mentioned when you were doing all the work at the house. The next door neighbor's Mrs. Filova, and we know who and I heard she fed you pretty good when you were
Oh, she did. She did. Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you. That's a good. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move on to items for consent, and how many items are there? 11.1 through 11.8. We can take them as a group, or would someone want to pull any item? 11.1 to 11.8. Go ahead, Councillor DeAngelo.
I have 11.1, 11.3, and 11.6.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, so we got 11.2, 11.4, 11.5, 11.7, and 11.8. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that? I got Councillor DeRose and Councillor Longo. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And the other three, we'll use the same mover and seconder when we get to the vote, but we'll go through them one at a time. And 11.1 first. Go ahead, Councillor DeAngelo.
I just want to reiterate the report that's here in front of us. It's a recommendation of a committee resolution that was passed regarding installation of signage regarding the Thorold Unity Garden in the Mousewort Park.
Yeah.
I was there on, I think it was September 22nd, the Unity Garden, the event. So while I was there, I talked to several of the individuals that were there, and they were pretty excited that signage was going to be forthcoming and that they were able to play a part in designing what's going to be coming forward. So I just wanted to highlight, it's a good news story, and I think it'll be great highlighting what we have in our community. I know, Mr. Mayor, you brought that forward when we had the flag raising ceremony, highlighting that's one of the assets here in Thorold. So I just want to give it a little bit more recognition, and it's a great opportunity for the committee to work with city staff and with the diversity committee to make sure we come up with something really good.
I think it's great, and I think it's important that it does get the correct signage, because that is something that's missing from that landmark. Okay, so we had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. 11.3, Canada Games Park financials. Go ahead, Councillor DeAngelo.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to highlight, usually I'm bringing up negative stuff here, but I want to bring up something positive. And I don't know if it's our staff or staff that's running the Canada Games Park, but they have reduced the variance in the from the budget to the city actual regarding unsold ice. They reduced it by $6,500. Hopefully we could continue that process. If not, even if we're still paying for the unused ice, I still want us to see it having greater community impact, where if there's available ice there, let's try to get it out to user groups within Thorold. So we're paying for it anyways. Let's get them using it somehow. So I just wanted to, again, highlight that component of the report. It's
a great point. It's a great point. Go ahead, Councillor Sens.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, that's what we've talked about this whole time, is optimizing. Good to see this report, and we can do even better. And I know, talking with Brooke this week, she has a lot of ideas to use the unused ice for residents of Thorold. So I think this is all good news. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And Councillor DeAngelo, accounts payable 11.6.
Yeah, I just a couple items here. One is I just wanted to declare a conflict with JBM Office Systems. There was several checks written to them. My brother works for that, so I just wanted to highlight that. And the other one is because I brought this up before, but and talked to staff regarding this, but I noticed under members of council, there's an expenditure for the Niagara Board of Trade and Commerce here in the city of Thorold, and it says membership there. I don't know if I'm not the only one not receiving invitations, but I don't receive invitations as a councillor. I think it's important that as a member that the council is aware of the events that are going on with them, and that we could participate and show our support for the organization. So if that's something that could be highlighted and sent out to the councilors.
We will, I'll get Tessa on that tomorrow and make sure that they communicate that to us and that it goes out to council.
Yeah, because it'd be good to see councilors there, or
absolutely.
Councilors could be aware that it's coming up in an appropriate
Actually,
fashion.
I know there's one event, just so anyone's aware that wants to go tomorrow. It's at 12 o'clock?
Yes, I know, yeah.
And it's on, what's the name of that place? Huh? It's on Highway 20. It's actually not in Thorold, the event. It's in Pelham. It used to be...
It's called Bourbon and Bacco.
What is it?
Bourbon and Bacco.
Bourbon and...
Bacco.
On Highway 20, 12 o'clock. The guest speaker tomorrow is Marco Marino from Economic Development at the region. That's the one I know, but we'll make sure that I get that because of the region. I know that Marco's presenting there tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Though I have some other questions, but I'll just address those with staff, so I appreciate the, bringing it
Okay,
up.
thank you. So we had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Items for consideration, DS 18-2025, Parkland Dedication Bylaw. Can I get a mover and a seconder before I put it? I got Councillor Sentence and Councillor Decker. I think that, Brian, you're here to answer any questions? Okay, Brian's here from planning. If there's any questions regarding this. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Brian. Very good report, Brian. Really appreciate this. I can see it's going to be getting some things in order and certainly going to help the city out in the future with development charges. I have a couple of questions. One is both the report and the bylaw talk about exemptions, and the one I'm particularly wondering about is when we're discussing affordable and attainable housing. Now, I know affordable housing is really well defined, and I noticed that attainable is also mentioned in the bylaw, but to this date, we don't have from the province a definition of attainable housing. So I'm just wondering, is that mandatory that we put that attainable housing into our bylaw if we don't know what it's going to become yet?
Go ahead, Brian.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I will start, and Jay is also online through Teams that he can assist if needed as well. My understanding, through you, Mr. Mayor, is that we do not have to do anything. It's an optional item, and I would suggest until such time as we understand it more fully that we not do anything with respect to that optional item.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. And that's it. Thanks
Anyone
very
else
much.
have any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Tender award, PWCS 49-2025, RFT COT 06, Town Line Road reconstruction. Can I get a mover and a seconder to put that in the floor? I got Councillor Decker and Councillor O'Hare. Jeff Holman's here to answer any questions, and as well as Sean Dunsmore. We got double duty here tonight. Any questions regarding this project? I know it's a long-awaited project in the community. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Okay, 12-3, PWCS.
Yeah, just before you put it on the floor, just.
Oh, I'll read that, okay. PWCS 56-2025, disposal of surplus land, 7 and 11 River Street, former Fire Station 3. Before I put this on the floor, there is a confidential appendix attached to this report in the closed agenda package. If council has any questions about the appraisal report specifically, they can ask those questions in closed session, and we can deal with this report after those questions take place during business arising from closed session. If there are no questions about the appraisal reports, we can proceed with reviewing the report now. Is there any questions regarding the appraisal? If so, that will be done in camera. If not, then we can deal with the report now. Go ahead, Councillor Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No, I had asked a question in closed session regarding the real estate component, not the appraisal. Is that something we could discuss in closed session?
It's not regarding the appraisal, it's regarding the, I think you're regarding the RFP, am I correct?
It was regarding the process. There was I don't want to say don't.
No, I
say
know.
public.
I'll let our clerk
ask the
guide
question
us
in
on
public,
this,
but-
okay?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So you'll see in the report there is some information about the process that was followed for the RFP for the real estate listing. We also have staff here on hand to answer those questions. Currently, what we're going into, what's listed as a closed session item isn't the real estate listing itself, it's just those appraisal reports.
Okay, but
So can he
it was
speak to that?
regarding the postponement / cancellation of the listing. There was a specific question that needed to be asked, and that's the answer I was looking for, so. I can ask an open session. To me, I-
No, I know. I just want to get, see,
Without knowing what the question is, it may be help, I would say you can ask the question.
right? Yeah.
So what we do is, we do the
We're not going into closed for that reason, though.
No, we,
Well, first of all, is everybody okay with the appraisals? We don't have to go in close for the appraisals, is that correct? Yeah. I want to make sure everybody's clear with that. Okay, now regarding this question, I don't know what the question is, so I can't tell you.
Well, there is pretty specific information about the listing and the process that was followed to award the RFP. We do have our procurement officer available as well, so I'm not sure if that would fall under what you're looking to ask, Councillor.
No, I asked the question at the last meeting. I could ask it now, and if staff. Okay, my question was, what risk is the city gonna have if we cancel the listing?
So,
At this point, do you want to move and second the report, and then we can deal with the report?
okay, can I get a mover in a second and put the report on the floor? Councillor Hanley and Councillor Seconds. Okay, go ahead. That's the question. Do you want,
Well, our procurement officer is available to speak to.
okay, what's his first name? Rob, do you want to come up if you, there might be a question that Rob can answer.
Regarding the real estate agreement, that's a separate agreement that was signed through the city and the agent itself. So the cancellation process would have to be reviewed by the actual real estate. The procurement process we went through was an RFQ to hire the real estate agent, which we controlled. It was an open public quote where we received three quotes for real estate agents.
Okay?
Okay, so what is the risk to the city of Thorold to canceling that agreement?
That is a legal question that has to be taken up with legal. That's not a procurement item. It's something that's been identified in the real estate agreement. I'm not sure what the ramifications of canceling the real estate agreement is.
Okay, so we won't be, he's not in a position to give you that advice. We can get that answer for you.
Okay, yeah, I was looking, that's
Yeah,
the question I was
that's fine.
asked last time,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Because I know right now, if I could just elaborate, it was postponed, but I wanted to know what the ramifications are if we were to
Right
cancel.
now, it is just postponed.
That is correct.
Okay. Councillor Hanlon.
Can I go on with the report and some issues with it?
Yeah.
I concur with Councillor Dan in concerns with what it may cost us, and the concern is that, the city could now maybe, we don't know, like you said, unless you get a legal opinion, responsible maybe for some damages because staff didn't follow council direction.
But anyway, let's get to what your questions
So
are.
what I want to bring up, Mr. Mayor, is I know that it says here in the new report, they have two recommendations, basically like it was previously, and that staff get a report back from council in regards to the disposal, that staff be directed to prepare a report for council's consideration and direction for the next step. So I'm going to bring some items forward here before I put a motion forward in the direction. And I believe that the direction that should be taken is that, obviously, it was mentioned at the April meeting that it couldn't have made any clearer that we wanted, or council wanted on April 29th, 2025, participation from the public. That was one of the reasons we put in item number 3, and that wasn't directive that was taken, and I'm thankful for the public for notifying me that a for sale sign went up so that we could seize that opportunity. Also, one of my concerns is that, you know, it was never taken into consideration. We really haven't seen the real estate office. I've lived in this city my entire life. Contamination aspects of it. It's known that at one time there was a former service station there. Has there been an environmental assessment taken? Step one, step two. Are we selling contaminated land in the city? That's never really been taken into consideration. Is what we're pretending to do, like before it even went up for sale, the council or the public never had an opportunity to see if it was fitting for the surrounding area and give an input of what we would like to see there. You know, I believe it's zone light industrial. So what are we looking at? We're going for a quiet, compassionate fire station that served the community, was held for community functions, you know, dances, stag and does, turkey rolls, whatever. Where's it going from there? We need to take that into aspect. You know, the monies. What are we going to do if council does decide what to do with the property? Where's the money is going from the sale of the property? We're going to keep it in the community. You know, one idea for me would be to put it toward the South Street Bridge rehabilitation. The memorial benches more or less have been taken care of. And other than that, for the public input, looking at today's meeting, our next meeting is October 28th and then November 18th and December 9th. I'm going to put a motion forward, but I'll be open for council. My motion would be considering that we have a public meeting on October 21st. It's a Tuesday at the Port Robinson Community Center, and that the subject to be talked about specifically is only Station 3 and the disposition of Station 3, not any other concerns that member of the public had, so that it's a meeting that is a controlled meeting, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking overall, talking to the community, that's basically what they wanted. Where we're going, and let council decide if we sell it, what do we do with the monies? And you gotta remember too, you don't always have to take the highest bidder. We have to take into consideration the community and what's best fitting to suitable for what is there today and where the future looks. South Street Bridge rehabilitation, so on and so forth. So that's my point, and I'll hear out the rest of council before I put a motion forward.
And I do agree with you on the point, and I've said this from day one, that whatever happens in the disposal of that property, that money should stay in that community.
Yes, definitely. For all they've contributed to over the years and the sacrifices that they've made, it would only be fitting that the monies from the sale remain in the community of Port Robinson.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Sen.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I agree with everything you've said, pretty much, to have the public input. Just one question. We all got that email that kind of requested not a town hall type of thing. So I'm just a little curious as to which way we should go with.
Public meeting is more of a drop-in.
Okay, yeah. So just a drop-in center public meeting. Okay.
Yeah. We do it like a pick.
Yes, like a pick.
A pick, same type of deal. Specific hours, 5:30 to 8:30, whatever. The city can decide, but I was looking at dates, seeing that today, it would only give us 3 days this week, and it's not fair to put it on to the next week, because people that wish to attend, we need to give them at least a 14-day notice.
So I agree, keep the money in the community, and I'd second any motion that comes forward. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor DeRose.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Hanley touched on something. I wanted to expand on it. I just want to get the rationale from staff as why the recommendation number 3 was disregarded. I don't understand that. I've seen explanations through emails. None of them really jive with me. So I'd like, in public forum, I'd like an answer from staff as to why number 3 was omitted or disregarded.
Does anyone, Manoj or Jeff, do you want to speak to that? Go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think, excuse me, I recall very clearly the discussion with respect to having public input towards it. However, there's nothing specific in the language of the resolution that says that the PIC would take place before we were to bring back options for the disposal of the property. So perhaps a misunderstanding on my behalf. I apologize if there was any confusion. But the idea, at least in my mind, reading the resolution directly word for word, was that that opportunity would come once we brought back the options.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks for the explanation.
You'll get a chance to speak again, but I got people
Can I
that
finish,
haven't
Mr.
spoken.
Mayor?
No, you still have the floor.
Yeah, okay. No, thanks for the explanation, Jeff. Just, I still don't see how, it's in black and white right there, you know? That staff be directed to report back to council with options, not conclusions or finalities. And that's why I was surprised as well when people from Port Robinson called and said that there was a for sale sign there. And I don't think that should happen again. Council directs staff, and it shouldn't happen the other way around.
Anyway,
Thank you.
So let's stay positive and move forward and rectify. No, but I'm just saying.
Reach out to me.
Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I strongly support these recommendations from Councillor Handley. They're all excellent ideas. So I think my fellow councillors will also feel that this is the right direction to go. So thank you for bringing that forward.
Councillor Ditavitas and then Councillor Discharge.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I support Jim 100%. What he said, everything was bang on. And I totally understand with Mr. Holman. Sometimes the mistakes happen, or you take a different opinion, or you don't understand, and it moves on. It was nothing intentionally done, and we have a great staff here. And this is a minor thing. Let's just move forward and not really think about this.
Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo, and then Councillor Decker.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too concur with the public process here. That's what I brought up when we originally talked about it. So it's a huge part of the Port Robinson community, and I want to hear from them what they want to see, do, and how they want the funds spent. So to me, it's good. I'm just, again, my only concern is, I know Councillor Hanley said was it the 21st? What was the date again?
Well, I'm just looking at the October the 21st. Okay. I have October 29th down.
Yeah, I'm just worried about, concerned about the legislative process for a public meeting or public forum, that we meet that, because we have the Thanksgiving holiday in there. I just want to make sure that
and our staff will make sure that that's followed.
Okay, so the sorry, again, Councillor Henry, the date was the 28th would suffice for public notice to get that out for a public information?
Well, I think 28th is our next council meeting.
Yeah,
21st.
And then our council meetings are October 28th, November 18th, December 9th. I believe we got to give maybe a 14th day or a 10 business day notice, or 14 days.
There's no specific legislative time frame for, this is more of an informal.
Okay.
It's not, but obviously more notice is better.
More notice is better, yes.
Okay.
Our clerk's department.
Okay, that was my concern, was the legislative component. If there isn't any, long as we give ample notice and it's well advertised in the community so that they're aware. And the type of meeting it's going to be, as the councillor mentioned, public information session where there can be some really good dialogue regarding this particular item. So I concur with that. I do have a question on the report, though, sort of in terms of real estate, because we're selling this property. We've now done 2 transactions where we've gotten specific real estate individuals. Are we moving towards, because I know Councillor Longo's brought this up in the past, are we moving to a blanket real estate firm to deal with our buying and selling of properties? Or are we going to continually move forward on an ad hoc basis based on one property? And how does that meet with our city policy? Do we need to have a real estate agent that covers us for a specific period of time? Because we'll be moving in and out of transactions numerous times, and we have some other opportunities that we're dealing with property acquisitions and disposals. So I don't want to be holding any of that stuff up if we don't have someone in place, and if we have to always go out with this procurement policy, is that going to hamstring us trying to get some other stuff done? Because we have some affordable housing, that a project we're working with, that we have land that might require some real estate expertise on dealing with that. So I'm concerned that we're doing it ad hoc is not the best in the long run for the community.
You want to comment on that? Yes, what's his?
I can speak to that. That's what you was here.
Yeah.
The best process to do it.
You have to go up to the, you have to go to the podium.
What's his first name? Robert.
Okay, Robert. Sorry about that, but.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So the best process into that would be to issue an RFP to qualify an individual real estate agent to represent the city. So basically, everyone would have an open opportunity to go out, present their presentations, their bids, and everything else, and then the city gets to choose one individual to represent them through the entire process, so we don't have to do an RFQ to select individual real estate agents per property. That would be the best course of action. That typically takes, it's a 2-month process in order to send out an RFP. So that would be my direction, and that would be my recommendation in getting one firm to represent the city of Thorold.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be seeing that process coming forward in a staff report?
Can we do it by staff direction?
You do it, staff direction.
Yeah, staff direction, can we get a report back on that? I think that's the best path forward.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. we've been talking about this for months and months and months, so.
So, okay, that's where we'll head, so.
Okay, so we'll be receiving a staff report in the very near future regarding.
That. Okay, Robert, you got? Okay.
Just one other item on the report here, that it talks about the local preference of city procurement policy. It says staff are prohibited from directly soliciting local real estate agents or brokerages. My question is notifying that there's an open bidding tender process, is that soliciting? Because a lot of our local agents didn't even know about this. So is that something that staff can at least inform our local agents that there's a bid going up on the bid process? They're not getting the business. Their staff is
being aware that there's an RFP.
That's right. And can we put that also on this is an item that we can have local representation. We don't need someone from Toronto selling Thorold properties. We can have someone locally that knows the knowledge and stuff. So I want to make sure they have an opportunity to bid and then go through the criteria process, and at least they have that opportunity.
To communicate that.
That's correct.
Okay, Robert, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So basically, it is an open process. We do send it out. It's through bids and tenders, which is our bid portal, and we do put it on our website. So it's on the City of Thorold website under procurement. So unless we're reverting back to putting advertisements in newspapers, we do send it out publicly. It's available for everyone to see. We give ample time for anyone to place a bid. They do have to register with the bid company, but other than that, it's an open and fair process for anyone available. So we can't go door knocking and saying, oh, there's a bid out there, unfortunately. We just make it accessible to everyone, and whoever wants to place a bid is more than welcome to submit a bid on that specific proposal.
Okay. Well, I believe that there should be some door knocking, but that's me. I'm old school. I believe in business. That's what I run. So to me, even just notifying our Niagara Center Board of Trade that there's an opportunity for a bid and let them get that out to their membership. That's the type of networking I like to see, so our community businesses have opportunities, not just on this, but on other opportunities that could come forward. So I would look at tweaking that marketing plan with a local content, not giving it to them, but allowing them to bid on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Decker.
Thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I would support Councillor Hanley's motion, should he put it on the table soon, about holding a public meeting. I'd like to see the money stay in Port Robinson as well, from the sale of the fire department. And then my second question was answered about the time frame. I thought October 18th was too fast, but hopefully they can figure it out, and you'll put the motion on the floor for us to vote.
Okay, thank you. The amended motion the clerk's put together, and we'll put it up, and then Councillor Hanley, if you agree with it or if you want to make changes, let us know, okay?
Yes, sir.
So that's going up, and as it goes up, Councillor DeRose, did you want to make a comment?
Yeah, I'm going to support this. I think it's a great idea. I was at their Fall Fest on Saturday, and they've got some interesting ideas that'll come forward in the public forum as what they would like to have done to the land. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so it's up on the screen. You read that, and if you're good with it.
I've read it. Yeah, that's sufficient. That we held it on October the 21st. It's 2 weeks from today. I'm happy with the way it reads right there.
Okay, can I get a second, or Councillor Sentence? Is there any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried.
So that's on the amendment now.
That's on the amendment. As amended, now we're gonna vote on the whole motion. The same mover and the seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay. Next, notices of motion. I got Councillor Ditavitas. Go first. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, I have two notice of motions. One, that Thorold hires a community grant writer, either part-time or full-time. Other municipalities around us successfully have done this. For instance, there's a neighboring community.
Notice of motion.
I just want to do a
details
comment
you
on it.
can,
I'm not allowed to comment on it, or?
No, you bring
No
the
comment?
notice of motion, then you comment on it at the next
Okay,
meeting.
okay.
Okay?
And another notice of motion I want to bring is for Jim Bradley to be recognized at a property in Thorold, hopefully Canada Game Center or something.
Okay, and you'll bring those and work with the clerk on those, and then you can comment, don't worry.
Oh, sure, no problem, no
Yeah,
problem. Just
okay.
support you. Thank you.
Councillor DeRose?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Just in regards, I'd like to put forth a notice of motion in regards to amending a cemetery bylaw. Thank you.
Okay, that's it? Everything else, anyone else? Okay, we're gonna move on now to a motion. Where is Councillor Hanley? Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to that motion after I do this. I'll move ahead to statement by councillors, then I'll come back to that motion from Councillor Hanley. Councillor Decker, go ahead on your statement.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. This is just an information statement. It's about a fundraiser for a pay it forward auction. Started about 24 years ago to help those who were less fortunate. Some of the people responsible work for school boards and other agencies, and it gave them the ability to identify many families in need. The first year they helped 6 families, providing everything from stocking stuffers to presents to Christmas meals. And they've also had many more people offer to help. So to try to do better and to increase funds so they could help more families, they came up with this Pay It Forward auction. So last year they were able to help over 100 families from Fort Erie to Niagara and in between. The auction will run from November 14th to November 21st until 9 p.m., and that's a Friday night. So if anyone's interested in donating or providing food gift cards to this great cause, I'm just bringing it forward so it can go onto our social media page. It'll have contact information on there, the website. So if anyone's interested in supporting, it'll have all the information on there.
Okay, so you'll work with Natalie and Tessa and get that information up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor O'Hara.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Going back to you, Councillor Hanley. You're in the room, okay? I have to keep the meeting going.
We were going to bring a microphone over, but okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I'd like to take a moment to remember Dave Bennison, who passed away recently at the young age of 55. Dave was the creator and sole author of the social media platform called Historical Niagara. With over 20,000 followers, Dave shared his knowledge, his insights, and his passion for countless topics and facts about our history and heritage. Dave was inspirational in bringing past stories back to life through his storytelling. He had a deep knowledge of all 4 Welland canals and would never tire of sharing it with anyone. Dave had a special bond with Port Robinson. I'll miss his stories and his laughter.
Thank you for bringing that forward. I met him in Port Robinson at an event there. Yeah. Okay. Councillor Hanley, we're going backwards now to motions.
Okay, sorry about that, eh?
And,
well, it's better late than never.
That's right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the corporation in the city of Thorold is the 4th fastest growing community in Ontario, and whereas the corporation in the city of Thorold is the 8th fastest growing community in Canada, and whereas once unpopulated areas are now experiencing developmental growth, And whereas population demographics do no longer favor fair representation for all residents, now therefore be resolved that the corporation of the City of Thorold enacts as follows. Number one, that the City Council requests a fulsome report to be brought back to Council regarding award system implemented in the City of Thorold for the 2030 municipal election. If I may, Mr. Mayor, it's too late to do it now, but I know that Councillor Senton's always had a motion forward in regards to reducing the size of council and that stuff. Be it if it does happen, it does happen. But I think at the same time we have to look at the Thorold, and that in the demographics part of it, the day is going to come in the near future where there'll be more of a population on the west side of the canal in the Thorold, South Ellenburg, Port Robinson area than there is in actually what they refer to as the downtown core here. And I'd like for the city to explore the possibilities of having a ward system for what I would be fair representation for areas of Port Robinson West, Port Robinson East, St. John's, Thorold South, as we know, that are rapidly developing, and that's where our significant amount of growth is occurring, and to make it favorable for everybody in regards to political demographics. So that's my reasoning behind it.
And I'm going to read this that I was given by the clerk just for clarity. Staff are not able to take on award boundary review internally.
Yes.
These are matters handled by consultants, just as was done in Pelham, Lincoln, Port Colborne, and Welland. A future report can explain this and provide information about how much that cost would be, just so you're aware.
Yeah. Me and Nicholas talked about that today because I was aware of that it's not something that's independently done by a municipality.
Anyway,
it's a third-party entity which would do it, and I realize that.
Yeah. I need a seconder for that motion, Councillor Ditavitas. Any further discussion on that motion? Go ahead, Councillor Longo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just do have a question for Councillor Hanley. I'm just reading the motion here, and I just want to, are you asking for award system to be implemented, or the pros and cons of award system?
Well, the pros and cons of award system, and that if it was to be implemented, it wouldn't be implemented until the 2030 municipal election.
Okay, but I guess my question, are you asking council to decide on whether to move forward with the award system after the report comes forward, based on the information in the report?
Well, I'm going to base it on the information. I talked to Nicholas today. Like we said, we know that it has to be a third-party entity. Municipalities don't engage it with it themselves. And we looked at other municipalities and what they had been doing in their reviews in regards to a award system. And we're basically going to replicate what they've done and then bring it back to council, and council decide how we will move on from there.
Oh, okay, let's make a comment. I'm indifferent to whether there's a award system or not, but I just want to make sure we understand where this is going, whether it's a report coming back with how to implement an award system, or whether it's a council decision on whether the pros outweigh the cons of doing it. So
I think it'll be a wholesome report and include that as well as the costing on what the review would cost.
Okay, and I do have a question regarding costing.
Yeah.
Does staff have any idea on what it will cost to bring back this report, since a third party needs to do it?
Well, the report is going to, tell you how much it's going to cost, I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. So the idea is to provide a preliminary staff report, if you will, which sets out a general financial cost to the city to engage a third-party consultant to actually do the report, which would, be an in-depth study for council's decision-making purposes.
Okay, great. So the first part of this is just cost of staff time to bring a report back.
Yep.
Okay, I'll stop there, Mr. Mayor, in light of keeping schedule with first pitch.
I knew that. I was just going to call you on that anyway. Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo, and then Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just for clarity then, so is this going to be like a two-part report where the consultant is going to be chosen to write a report on the pros and cons of the ward system? Council decide if they're going to move forward, and then the second part of the costing would be for them to implement that and put the rules in place for a ward system?
No, it's going to be the first parts to come back and tell you how much it's going to cost to do this review from an external consultant
Yeah.
before we even undertake the whole.
Well, that's, but see, Mr. Mayor, I want to know what the cost is for the complete process, not just for the review, but then, okay, council's
Well,
gonna.
that's a good point. We could get the costing, you want both costs.
I see it as a two-stage
Yeah,
report.
no,
One is
no,
to
that's-
determine,
that
and
makes
then the
sense.
second one is,
Yeah.
what would it cost
You got that?
to do it?
Yeah, I think that's a good approach.
Okay.
Yeah?
It
Go
just
ahead.
informs council.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Councillor O'Hare, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Councillor Handley. I'm just curious about the dates. You're asking for 2030. Isn't this something that the next council should be deciding? So
I'm thinking that I'm giving them the stepping stone into the next term of council.
Okay,
So that all the logistics are already done and the paperwork's done, and then council has the report in front of them when the new term of council starts in 2026. And we're not starting a process all over again, because there's a time limit for when we need to have that pass to enable to implement it in the 2030 election. We can't wait till 2029 or 2028. It has to be done.
No, I
like
understand.
the
Yeah.
first couple
Yeah.
of years. That's why I've done it that way.
Okay, so we're gathering information for the next council.
Basically, that's what it would be.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Thank you.
Else? Okay, did I get a seconder for that? Yeah, Councillor Sens, right? Hey? Oh, sorry, Councillor Dedivides was the seconder. Okay. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, that takes care of all that business, other than we have to go into closed session. So, before I get a mover and a seconder to go into closed session, I would like to remind you of your obligations respecting closed session. Those who are participating in closed session must ensure that no other person is in the location from which they are taking part in the meeting, or make appropriate arrangements so that any other persons cannot see or hear any of the confidential deliberations taking place. If this is not possible, you must withdraw from the meeting until it has reconvened in open session. Council, staff, and everyone present during closed session have an obligation to ensure that what is discussed in closed session is kept confidential. So now, yeah, and I have the clerk here to explain it, then I'll get a mover and a seconder to go into closed.
Okay, so through you, Mr. Mayor, so we'd only be going into closed session on these two items. The reason being, although the confidential appendix was included with the appraisal reports, they were received by virtue of council's receiving the report in open, very similar to what you do with approving open and closed minutes. So these will be the only two matters that we're going into closed session on, and I can read it out.
Yeah.
That council do now move into closed session to receive confidential information respecting: 1, a matter respecting labor relations or employee negotiations under section 239 2D of the Municipal Act 2001, salary grid information. And item number 2, a matter respecting a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board under section 239 2C of the Municipal Act 2001, Kiefer Mansion.
Okay, could I get a mover and a seconder to go into closed session? Councillor Hanley and Councillor O'Hare. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. So are we staying here, or are we going?
We're going there, I think.
We going in room 1? Room 1 we're going. We ready? We ready?
You want to call it? Okay.
Hmm?
Get Nella? She's talking.
Yeah, tell him to get in here.
Sorry. I'm ready.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
We ready? You ready? Okay. I'd like to welcome us back to open session at 9:16 PM and business arising from closed session, and I'll get the city clerk Nicholas to bring that up, please. That confidential information dated October 7th, 2025, respecting salary grid information be received and that staff proceed as directed in closed session. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that? I got Councillor O'Hare and Councillor Decker. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Confidential memorandum respecting Kiefer Mansion. That confidential memorandum CLKC 27-2025 dated October 7th, 2025 respecting Kiefer Mansion be received and that staff proceed as directed in closed session. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that? I got Councillor Sentence and Councillor Hanley. Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Okay, through you, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask a question. Can I speak on the direction that's been given to staff?
Regarding an RFP?
Yes. Like, is that, can we talk about that in open session, that we're going to an RFP process for a Realtor?
I think so, right? But well, I'm gonna turn to the clerk.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so the section under the Municipal Act, it's permissive. It's not a mandatory closed session. So if you're fine with it as chair.
What we're talking about is a general RFP for
citywide.
Citywide, and that was the direction that we had given during the earlier discussion today.
Yes, and we just wanted to make sure that this property was included in that general direction that we gave earlier in the council meeting, that it.
I would say that it deals with all real estate. Am I correct? The RFP will deal with all real estate.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Okay, and we just want to get it out there that any local realtors can bid on the RFP process when it comes out, which they'll find on our website and on the procurement. Help me here.
Bids and tenders. Bids and tenders.
Bids and tenders? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Longo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just add to that local organization, Niagara Association of Realtors, I've seen a number of times where they post opportunities such as this on an internal page that over 1,000 local realtors will see. So it may be an opportunity to reach out to the Niagara Association of Realtors and let them know about this opportunity.
Okay, duly noted. Anything else? Go ahead, Councillor Diaz.
And just add our local Niagara Center Board of Trade to inform them that there's an opportunity for any of their members to bid on this process. Thank you.
Okay. We had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. That's it. Now we move on to bills, right? Okay. I know, I see that. Can I get a mover and a seconder for bills 82, 88, 89, and 90, 2025? I got Councillor DeRose and Councillor Decker. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. This meeting is hereby adjourned with no further business. This meeting is hereby adjourned at 9:19. I told you 9:20. We were a minute earlier. Okay?